Hey folks, thanks so much for checking into the Neutral Zone Hotel. We are an unapologetically left-leaning podcast that explores hockey at its best and at its worst. My name's Benjamin. My pronouns are he, him. I'm an Ottawa Charge and Montreal Canadiens fan out of Ottawa, Ontario, and I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues, starting with Trevor.
Hi, everybody. Trevor here. My pronouns are he, him. I am a fan of the Vancouver Canucks, regrettably, and happily a fan of the Vancouver Golden Eyes.
We've also got Madison here.
Hi, I'm Madison. Pronouns are she, they. I am a fan of hockey in Denver, the Colorado Avalanche, and honestly, more importantly, the DU championship team.
Hey, DU won their championship. That's very good for them. I was watching Steve Dangle, and they were really wish casting David Carl to the Leafs.
It's not happening.
I do not see any world in which David Carl ends up with the Leafs.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So, folks, before we kick off, we do have to take care of one very serious matter. You will notice that I'm joined by Trevor and Madison today, but that SJ has decided to no-show this record. We've spoken with them previously on this, and so I'm going to read this statement. The Neutral Zone Hotel is announcing today that as a result of flagrant violations of the 2026 Neutral Zone Hotel's playoff podcasting regulations following the end of the second round, SJ will forfeit a second-round pick in the upcoming draft. In addition, they have been fined $100,000. The impositions of these penalties comes after previous warnings were issued to SJ regarding their compliance with the media regulations and other associated policies. SJ has been offered the opportunity to appeal these penalties to the core office. That appeal will be held in person on the podcast next week. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, speaking of the end of round two, the semifinals are set. In the East, it is the Montreal Canadiens versus the Carolina Hurricanes. And in the West, we have the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vegas Golden Knights.
The virtuous Colorado Avalanche versus the dastardly Vegas Golden Knights.
Amen.
So, yeah, we can start there. And obviously, one of the storylines going into this is, will John Tortorella talk to the media? Or will he?
I mean, the man has been there for 8 regular season games and like a dozen playoff games and has already cost them a second-round pick and $100,000. I don't know how he manages to raise the bar, and yet he does. He is incredible.
How many draft picks can he lose this team?
Well,
I believe in him.
It's Vegas. It's not like they have that many draft picks ever available.
No.
He's incredible content.
I tend to think it was a second round pick because I don't think they have a first for the next couple of years. In all seriousness, this is apparently that the John Tortorella failing to speak to the media was apparently in retaliation for a suspension against one of their players, which is deeply funny. And you have to give it to Torts. He's never boring.
Yeah.
He's never boring.
To your point earlier, sorry, Benjamin, they do not have their first round pick this year or next year. And with this forfeiture, they have no second round picks for the next 4 years.
What a team.
That's so good. That's so funny.
I can't wait for them to be bad.
Oh, I know, right? One day it'll happen. Their fans will finally understand misery. And then we can finally accept them for who they are.
What are you talking about, Trevor? They missed the playoffs 1 year.
Yeah, by like 1 point.
That's misery, right? So yes, the Vegas Golden Knights, a team that is governed by managers that nobody likes, run by a coach who is famously the most abrasive coach in modern NHL history, filled with unlikable players, and also Mark Stone. Like let's give Mark Stone credit. He's very likable. And they pretty much dominated their first 2 rounds. But, and I hasten to add this, they play in the Pacific Division, and this year the Pacific Division was dog shit.
Call that a pillow fight.
Yes, yeah, 100%. When Vegas is your division winner and they finished 13th overall in the league, that's kind of an indictment on your division.
And like most of those games would have been against their own division, because that is the way that the league works. So,
yeah.
Jinkies.
Yeah, the Kings stunk. The Oilers stunk. The Ducks were mildly better, but still got pretty well obliterated by the
and those are the
Knights.
playoff teams.
Yeah, and then there were
the rest.
And then there were the non-playoff teams, the Flames and the Canucks, who were very bad. The Kraken, who were in it for a while, but slowly sank out of it as the season went along. And
San Jose.
Yeah, the Sharks, they were pretty fun this year, but they wouldn't have got. I think if they were in any other division, they would not have even come close to sniffing the playoffs.
I wish they'd made the playoffs, because it would have been fun to watch Macklin Celebrini in the playoffs, but I don't think they would have been
okay. But here's the thing. Now, because of that, we get Macklin Celebrini captaining Team Canada at the World Juniors with his assistant captain's roster of John Tavares, Ryan O'Reilly, and Sidney Crosby. One boy and his 3 uncles.
Yeah, it's like a Campbellian novel, right? Like the young boy with all the mentors to lead him to victory, telling him how special he is, giving him the magic sword.
The rumors floating around that too are also like that Crosby and Celebrini basically had a Canadian standoff where like Celebrini had the C. It's like, no, Sid should have it. And Sid's just like, no, he was the C. He should have it.
Yeah, I suspect they had a lively conversation on the matter. But yeah, we're getting a little far off track, but I mean, Sidney Crosby just took over that game against Denmark, 4 primary assists in a period. He's still cool, folks.
This may be a hot take, but Sidney Crosby is good at hockey.
Pretty okay.
Wow. Can you say something so controversial and yet so brave?
There you go. Playing on a line with Porter Martone, who is very young.
Very fun.
Very good player. Yeah. Who drafted him? Do you remember, Trevor? Porter Martone.
Isn't Martone a Philly prospect?
Oh, I hope not.
I'm pretty sure
I think that's didn't he play for Philly?
Yeah, he was in the playoff. He eliminated Crosby.
Yeah,
he is a Philadelphia.
That's
player.
Why he made that's why the Flyers had like a almost good run there for like a series.
We'll talk about that in a bit. So the Golden Knights are facing up against the Avalanche. The Avalanche destroyed the league this year, stem to stern. I think that's fair to say. They obliterated the Kings in the first round, and the Wild, who went out and got Quinn Hughes as their vaunted reinforcement. What was it, 4-1 series?
Sure was.
So that Quinn Hughes managed to buy them 1 game.
Yeah.
It should be pointed out again too. In that game 5, it was 3-0.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They were up 3-0 after the first 20 minutes or whatever, and then the Avalanche didn't let them get more than a handful of shots and took them apart in overtime.
Yeah, they remembered that they're good.
Work of art.
It is hard to overstate how good the Avalanche are right now. I think the only reason Nathan McKinnon is not leading the league in scoring in the playoffs is he's only played 9 games compared to some teams that have played 14.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your predictions for this round?
5 games, Colorado. Just another gentleman's sweep. But we'll let Vegas have 1 game as a treat. But Carter Hart is going to remember that he's bad.
I think it'll be 5. I want it to be 4. And I want Carter Hart to just get fucking shelled the whole time.
Amen.
Like ideally just every game is like 7-0. But realistically, I don't think it'll be quite that bad. But I do think the Avs take it. The series I was the most I'm biased, but the series as a fan I was the most concerned about was the one that they just won in a gentleman's sweep. So.
Oh yeah.
I also think Avalanche probably in 6. And I'm saying 6 because there's some questions around the health of Cale Makar.
Fair.
If Makar cannot go at the start of the series, there's the potential that the Golden Knights split the first 2 games and then probably pick up one at home to get to 6. Carter Hart, as much as we dislike him, he's played good enough to get through the Pacific Division, but I don't think he's played good enough to stand up to Nathan McKinnon and Marty Necas and friends.
An actual good team.
Yeah, I think that the difficulty level has gone from easy to extreme, and yeah, I do not think we're going to see the Knights continue their run.
Oh, we can only hope. But I mean, yeah, that'll be for sure the sicko watch. Like, you don't watch that to watch good hockey. You watch it to watch a team get destroyed in front of your eyes.
Absolutely.
I think that in general the Avalanche will take them apart. I don't think that there'll be any game where the Golden Knights dominate, even if they win. So in the East, we have Montreal, the youngest team to make a conference final since the 1993 Montreal Canadiens, and 3-time conference final in a row conference finalist Carolina Hurricanes. How are we? And the Hurricanes are perfect in this playoff. They have swept both teams they faced, sweeping first the Ottawa Senators and then the Philadelphia Flyers, whereas Montreal went to 7 in both games against Tampa and Buffalo. And by the way, big kudos to the Buffalo Sabres on a heck of a year. Welcome back to the playoffs and really getting as close as you can get. Game 7 overtime, getting as close as you can get to the third round, your first kick at the can. So I really do hope we see more of Buffalo. But how are we feeling in this series?
This is a series where you got a team that is all gas versus a team that is all brakes.
That's exactly right.
It'll be very interesting to see if the momentum of Montreal and the fact they haven't really had a break can carry them through it, or if Carolina, being well rested, gets that on their side. Because this is really the first time we've ever seen an 8-0 versus like an 18 or 8-game team versus a 14-game team in a conference final. So
yeah, minimum versus maximum games.
Mm-hmm. But it should be interesting. I'm very excited to watch this one because it's also 2 very distinct play styles. One that's very defensively structured and one that's seemingly a little more run and gun offensively structured. And then you got probably 2 old rivals in Marty St. Louis and Rod the Bod going at it in terms of coaching. This is the series for hockey purists and sickos. This is the good stuff right here.
Madison, how are you feeling?
I think it's going to be a good watch. Like, I mean, stress levels aside, more excited to watch this series than the one with my own team. Like, I just don't think Vegas and Colorado's a good matchup. I hate the Ducks too, but I think they at least had like a couple players that would have been fun to watch. I think this series is going to be fun. I think Carolina takes it. I don't want them to, just because I think Montreal's a more fun team. But yeah, I think Carolina. I think this is their year to make it
yeah.
to the finals.
Well,
Trevor, do you have a pick?
Oh man, I'm sorry, Benjamin. I have to go with Carolina as well here. Carolina's gone up against some rough opponents in the finals the last 3 years, and by that I mean the Florida Panthers. And with all due respect, the Montreal Canadiens are not the Florida Panthers. So I think Carolina gets it done, but I don't think Montreal will make it easy. I do think this is going to go 7 again.
I think two things. The first is that the Carolina Hurricanes play the modern version of the trap. They are, for all intents and purposes, the 1995 Devils, including riding a hot goaltender, minus Claude Lemieux. And that's nothing against their play style. That's what you do when you have the players that you have. You have some really good shutdown players. You have some really good supporting pieces. You don't have a superstar forward. You do have a good offensive line, one that's currently, with Taylor Hall anchoring it, has been putting up some numbers this postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal beat this team 3 times in the regular season. The regular season is not the playoffs. But I think the Nick Suzuki line and I think the Jake Evans line can do the damage that they need to do to shut down the top lines. And I think that Montreal's motor will outpace the trap. I think there's a reason Montreal beat them 3-0 in the regular season, which is that Montreal's game, their very fast, fun hockey style, is perfectly poised to break the neutral zone trap that the Hurricanes are reliant on. And they do a very good job of getting weird angle shots, which the Hurricanes are excellent at suppressing, which is why Freddie Anderson looks like a god, because he's not that good.
There's a reason playoff Freddie is a thing.
Not taking away from what he's done so far, but it's a lot easier to win playoff games when your team is ensuring you don't see any more than 1 or 2 high danger shots a game. This is why Gwyneth Phillips wins series, and it's why Freddie Anderson wins series. Montreal excels at finding high danger shots and capitalizing on them. That's basically what Cole Caulfield does, and he's been quiet this postseason. He's finally gotten a regular, a 5v5 goal. He's got 4 goals in 14 games, which is not bad considering how badly he's been checked, especially by Tampa. But I mean, Montreal has the ability to break out, and they have the ability to break the trap. And once the trap is gone, there's nothing else. Nikolai Ehlers is not going to carry this fucking series. Habs in 6. I think the Habs are going to the finals, and I think they're going to take the Avs to 6 or 7. I don't think they win.
No. That is by far that's the series that I think you should want as a hockey fan, though. Especially as a Patrick Waugh fan. Yeah, 100%.
If you would like to have a good time with the Stanley Cup Finals, you would like Montreal to win. If you are an Avalanche fan, you don't care.
Well, I was going to say, if you're an Avalanche fan, you might want Carolina to win for the exact same reason that Benjamin lined out, because Colorado also feels like a team that could break that Carolina defense real easily.
Too many good players.
I also think the Mikko Rantanen trade revenge tour would be somewhat funny, but
so true.
Hey, we traded you Rantanen so he would stay out of our division. What the fuck?
You could have had a star player. Just kidding.
But no, I think the Habs. I understand why people are picking the Hurricanes. They look very good. I get it. And I'm not even going to say I think the Habs are the better team. I think that they have diametrically opposed styles, and I think that the Hurricanes have tried and succeeded under Rod Brindamore in bringing back a style of hockey that we tried to get rid of. There's a reason why people hate watching them play hockey, because they're boring. They're boring. The Habs play with the motor. You need to break it.
And not to mention, too, we always talk about how the NHL is a copycat league. If you want to bring back a full-powered offense, you have if you can get Montreal into the final against Colorado, 2 teams that have high-powered offenses, this is the way you want. This is how you get your league back.
It would be better for the league, absolutely.
I just think it'd be more fun to watch.
That is factually correct.
Yeah. I also think there is that sort of generational passing moment. Colorado probably is a contender for a few more years, but Nate McKinnon's not getting any younger, right?
Yeah. Well, is he 30 yet?
He's 30.
Passage of time
31.
comes for us all. He's 31 in September.
I hate
We
that.
are the same age.
I mean, to that point, my barometer for how old I am is Taylor Hall because I'm a day older than he is. And the fact that he's all guac territory is it's disgusting.
The McKinnon's on the wrong side of 30. Nichus is almost there. A lot of the supporting pieces are on the wrong side of 30. You could actually like move Brock Nelson into a nursing home, and like a real nursing home. This is not a joke in terms of like, oh, he's old. He's for the NHL. No, like if you put Brock Nelson in a nursing home, the attendants would start taking care of him. They would
No
assume
one would think
he
anything
belongs.
of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Kadri's right there with them. You know, like the age of this team is a concern. As long as they have Makar and McKinnon, they'll be a going concern. But we are moving towards late season, you know, we're moving towards late career Pittsburgh levels. And unlike Sidney Crosby's back half of his career, a lot of the key pieces on that team are older than him by older than McKinnon by a significant amount. Whereas for Crosby, your Letang, your Fleuries, your Malkins were all kind of in that same 2-year age range. So I think that extended gap between your Nelsons, your Kadris, your McKinnons, I think that hurts you. Of course, Makar does make up for a lot of it. He is that good, but he might be hurt. And if he's not 100%, there's no guarantee the rest of the back end can do the job. Brett Kulak's not going to move the puck like Cale Makar.
No.
No offense to Brett Kulak. I have a soft spot for you, Brett. Does anyone know why I have a soft spot for Brett?
I do not.
Did he play for your beloved Halifax Mooseheads?
No, because when Montreal traded him to Edmonton, they used that second round pick on a guy called Lane Hudson.
I forgot he was a Hab. In my head, it's like maybe it's good. Yeah, you know
I
what?
also forgot that.
Yep.
I hear Lane Hudson's good at hockey.
You know what? He's okay.
I'm hearing that too.
He's okay. And he's been good in the playoffs. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's stick with the NHL, but let's talk about NHL coaching. So Craig Berube was fired. I feel like I talked about it last week, but it had to happen. Speaking of had to happen, today, the 19th, it was announced that the Vancouver Canucks' new leadership regime of Ryan Johnson and the Sedin twins has fired Adam Foote. Trevor, I know you want to talk about this.
Oh, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. First, okay, so it's been a great 48 hours in Canuckland. Daniel and Henrik Sedin and Ryan Johnson are doing the Lord's work already, seeing as y'all know about that account that tracks players' Instagram follows and unfollows. We have found out that Evander Kane has unfollowed the Vancouver Canucks. So if this means that Evander Kane is no longer on the Vancouver Canucks Hockey Club, it's a great day. And now hearing that Adam Foote, who took a team that, according to, I believe it was HockeyViz, it was JFresh, sorry.
Yeah,
according to JFresh, was supposed to be a over-under team of about 90.5 points, cratered at 58. Team that finished last in goals for, last in goals against, second last in penalty killing, just by almost every single metric except for their power play was dog shit. And there's a reason for that. And it's not just because you traded your best player. It's because you hired a coach to try and keep that best player, and that coach wasn't good. So if you can, as we've seen with this management, the new management, they are trying to wipe the slate clean, officially start a full rebuild. There hasn't necessarily been rumors on who they will hire, but there's a lot of hope that we do stick with Manny Malhotra out of AHL, Abbotsford, because he's familiar with the systems. He's probably familiar with the guys, and he helped build a culture that led Abbotsford to a Calder Cup championship a year ago. Maybe you don't keep him for long term, but you help. He's been good at one thing, that is developing young players, and we've seen that for the last couple of years. So if that's going to be the culture for the next couple of years, a lot of fans here are going to be completely on board with that.
I think there is a risk with hiring Malhotra. If he is not NHL ready, it could be a big challenge and it could impact the AHL club. But ultimately, if the Canucks are preparing to be bad for the next few years and to stockpile picks and actually try to rebuild, there is value in promoting the coach and not worrying about it. It's pretty rare that your rebuild coach is the coach who gets you out of the rebuild. I think that's fair to say. We can look at the many former coaches of the Buffalo Sabres, or we could look at the bad Colorado period. I think they went through like 4 coaches in 7 years or something ridiculous like that. We can look at a few other famous rebuilds. Florida is another one where they just went through coach after coach.
Montreal to a lesser extent too.
Well, I would say Montreal is the one where your coach that you kind of hired for your rebuild, he stuck around because they got rid of Dominic Ducharme, who went to the finals and brought in Saint Louis, which was mostly because, hey, he's famous and he speaks French. And then it just turned out he was an excellent. Well, he would become an excellent coach. And I don't think he learned. He worked his ass off to learn. But I think that there is value in bringing up Malhotra. They just need to be careful, especially if their intent is to keep the Abbey Canucks rolling. And I do expect them to do due diligence, which means that they will be told they cannot talk to Bruce Cassidy, and they will probably talk to Craig Berube and likely decide that is not a good call.
God, that would be the worst case scenario, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, Chris Knoblauch also fired by the Oilers. And yeah, the other big coaching news is that the Bruce Cassidy has wanted to interview for vacancies. Specifically, I believe it is Vancouver and Edmonton, and has been told no by the Vegas Golden Knights. The NHL Coaches Association released a statement today. The NHLCA has been closely monitoring the situation involving Bruce Cassidy. While we respect the league's rules and processes, it is our position that coaches who remain under contract but no longer working for their club should not be prevented from pursuing other employment opportunities. It would be unprecedented at the head coaching level should multiple teams be denied permission to speak with Coach Cassidy. The situation is still unfolding, but our priority is to protect the interests of our members in this type of circumstance. What do we think about the Cassidy situation?
I think this is Vegas being a big old bag of bitches.
Yeah, for sure. Like the fact that the fact that this is unprecedented and the first team to do it is Vegas is like surprise, surprise. Of course it is. I think it's weird. I think in most, not most, but I think in a lot of like jobs, this would be normal. I think the idea of like you sign a contract with us and whether or not, like if we're still paying you, you're our employee and we can tell you what to do. But it just isn't the case in sports. And we haven't seen it in the NHL. I can't think of another sport where I have seen it. I feel like, I don't know, my other main sport that I follow is American football. And like, you fire a college coach and they're still on contract and they go and get another job and no one cares. Like, it's just strange to me.
Yeah, like, why is this the hill that you want to die on with Bruce Cassidy? Like, you let go of him for a reason. Why are you preventing him from wanting to go to another team to continue working?
My guess is they just don't want him in division or in conference.
Then why'd you fire him?
Because they thought I think they just thought he lost the room. I think that's all it was. And they said, let's make a change and see if that helps. And let's get Torts because he's a famous name. He just did the whole gold medal thing with the Olympics and all that jazz. And
it cost you $100,000 in the second round pick. So really, who wins this one?
I don't think they give a shit. I really don't.
No.
I mean, they might give a crap about the second round pick. The $100,000's whatever. And also, just as a side note, just completely shows how stupid player safety is with their $5,000 fines. And I know that's because of CBA reasons. It's still stupid.
Well, that's the CBA. They negotiate it. I wouldn't be surprised to see them let Cassidy interview for the Leafs position. I really wouldn't.
I think he should be able to.
Yeah, I do. I'm curious to see if they push for contract changes as a result. The Golden Knights exploiting it's not even a loophole, exploiting under a non-enforced clause previously to gain a small competitive advantage, like you said, Madison, extremely on brand for the villains of the NHL.
The ontologically evil Vegas Golden Knights.
We are gonna.
Sorry if we have any Vegas Golden Knight fans that listen to this.
I think they'll be okay. Okay, so I think the last thing we're going to talk about today is the PWHL expansion. So as of this morning, all 4 teams have been officially announced, with expansion franchises being handed out to Hamilton, Detroit, Las Vegas, and San Jose. How are we feeling about these options?
The dastardly Las Vegas strikes again. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to let you have the floor because you've got feelings that you need to get out.
Bad. San Jose's color scheme is really good.
Yeah, hold on to that thought.
I'm very intrigued about mostly Vegas and San Jose just because we haven't seen any examples of how they can support a women's hockey team, but we have seen how they can support a hockey team and women's sports. So mathematically, I feel like that should add up. But I am very excited as well for the people of Hamilton, mostly because one of my favorite things is someone who immediately joined the PWHL Hamilton Discord and said within 15 minutes, it's just a whole lot of people talking crap on Toronto. I have found my people. I'm like, all right, nope, you're allowed in. Well done. Embrace the hate. We'd love to see it. And then plus, like, Hamilton's very unique in the sense too, because they don't have a professional hockey team, and or at least an NHL hockey team. And it's very cool to see the PWHL become like the first top tier hockey league in that city in over 100 years. So I'm excited to see how they'll do.
I think Hamilton and Detroit are going to be really sick. I'm excited for both of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think all 4 markets are going to be successful. I don't think there's a way around it. The Golden Knights have done a great job building a hockey fandom in the desert, and they are a lot of women sports fans there. And then you add the hospitality aspect on top of it. I don't think they'll have a problem hitting 8,000 to 10,000 a game. I think San Jose is going to crush it. I think there's just too many people that all the things we've talked about, they have all the disposable income in the world for women and for queer people there. Huge hockey fandom, huge fandom for women's sports. I think it's a smash hit. SJ and I talked about this last week, and I think my conclusion stands, which is that the league was forced through a combination of travel and arena ownership issues to go outside of the takeover games. I think that the people who wanted a team who didn't get one should be mad at their local franchise owners or their local cities. Calgary didn't even put in a bid. They sold out the Saddle Dome and they went, pass. So there's still, I think, a level of disdain out there. Some of these owners are trying to get these franchises, I think, for very, very cheap so they can pump money out of them. And I get that, but I think the owners who are willing to work, which includes here in Ottawa, it includes in Detroit, it includes in Las Vegas, in San Jose, these ownership groups, I think, will get first crack at owning the franchises when the time is right.
I think it's weird that they didn't have takeover games in those locations because Vegas has expressed interest in a women's hockey team well before this. So it feels weird for the league to have pulled Vegas out after ignoring them for a takeover game. I mean, I don't know the logistics, but it just seems really odd. And same with San Jose. It seems weird that they didn't have. It's less weird that they went there without having takeover games than it is that they didn't have takeover games.
It could be scheduling. There could be a few things behind it. And obviously we don't know. I'm not Jana Heffert. Are you Jana Heffert? Trevor, are you?
No, not last I checked.
They should put me in charge of branding, though.
You know what? Done. It's funny. I saw a post that had all 30 Major League Baseball teams, and I looked at it, I'm like, This just reminds me of the PWHL because you have one logo that's pure birds and everything else is letters. So if we see an H, an SJ, an LV, and a D, I'm going to be pissed.
Hey, don't do it. Please don't.
We'll see. We'll see, folks. And if you have an idea of what these teams should be named, you should jump on our Discord and chat it up with us at neutralzonehotel.com/Discord. We've already thrown around a couple ideas, but I'd really like to hear what other people have to say. But what I am going to ask is, let's rank the color schemes for the expansion teams.
All right. I like this.
Quick power ranking.
All right.
Where is your bottom?
Vegas.
Ugly colors. They're so ugly. Like, if I didn't already hate them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to look at that.
Vegas is the OHL North Bay Battalion, and let me tell you, having seen those jerseys in person, ugly as sin.
I also saw someone, I believe on Tumblr earlier today, pointing out that they used saguaro cactuses in the some of the stuff. They don't have those in Vegas. Like those are native to parts of the United States, notably not Las Vegas. So it's like I think I feel like they just pulled branding out of their ass for Vegas, and I think it sucks. Like, I think they went generic desert because they wanted to avoid casino, which honestly I think is lame. Like, you already have a sports betting partner for your league. Like, that's what Vegas is. And if you're gonna do desert, like, research it, maybe. Put a Joshua tree, a cactus that actually is in Vegas. Just throw that. I just thought that was extra lame. On top of the colors are very ugly.
Oh, the colors are horrendous. Madison believes they should be the Las Vegas Joshua trees. There we go.
Sorry, one other quick thing, because you said they wanted to go away from the gambling, and yet in their advertisement, their PWHL Las Vegas logo shows up via a slot machine.
Wow.
It's like they can't, I don't know. Once again, I feel like the PWHL is not great at branding their teams, and it is a bummer to me because I feel like something most other women's leagues have going for them is cool team names and logos.
I've come around on a lot of it. They're fine. Other than, there's a couple bad logos, but
I'm a hater. I'll say it.
Yeah. All right. I think we all agree Las Vegas is the worst of the new color schemes. The second worst, or possibly third best.
Hamilton.
I gotta go Hamilton here.
I agree.
It's a great mixture of the yellow gold and the nice crimson red, except we've seen it before. You just took the Ottawa Chargers homework and changed it.
Agreed.
I'm fine with it. I don't think this is a bad color scheme. I think Vegas is bad. I just think this is kind of a standard color scheme, but I do think the yellow will look nice, and I'm looking forward to seeing the word mark jerseys.
Yes.
The one thing it doesn't do for me is it doesn't give me a hint as to what way they might be going with a naming convention. There are a lot of interesting Hamilton names that already exist, like the Hamilton Steel or the Hamilton Forge. Hamilton is a steel town. I have no idea what else they're going to put up there. I've thrown out some ideas, but I honestly do not know.
Based off the color scheme, the Hamilton hot dogs.
Yeah.
We're finally going to get that Oscar Mayer Wieners partnership that they've been pursuing since day one.
Oh, that's right.
If the Wienermobile was outside of every Hamilton game, most successful franchise in the league.
There you go. Get the Wienermobile. All right, who are we ranking at second?
San Jose.
Oh, disagree.
Yeah, I figured.
I would also put Detroit here. So, Trevor, go ahead and say San Jose. Why?
It's less that I think San Jose's is bad as much as I do like Detroit's color scheme. I like the cream orange. I like the light blue. Originally, there was a lot of people in GoldenEye's area, fandom, who were very very similar to how I said Hamilton took Ottawa's homework and changed it, that they kind of did the same thing with Vancouver's, except we had to remind people, it's like, well, no, Vancouver's other color is copper. This is bright orange. It's not that similar, but it is still slightly similar enough for me to be like, this is going to be good, but I feel like I've seen it before.
I actually think it's going to look great. The color of chrome metal makes me think of Detroit. That's the goal here. Make me think of Detroit. And I think that it's going to, I think they should do a cursive Detroit on the word mark jersey in that silver color. I think that would be sick as fuck.
I actually really like Detroit's colors.
Yeah.
So they're second by a hair. I think they're really nice. I agree with Benjamin that it's very reminiscent of the locale, which I think is really cool. I think it's going to look sick in a jersey format.
And I think they come away with an automotive name. I haven't figured out exactly what it should be. But they should absolutely come away with some sort of automotive name, either on a defunct old car, like a Firebird or something, or a classic ride, or something like a hot rod type thing. I really do think it should be automotive. It should just be something that's really fucking cool.
You know what? The Rockers don't exist anymore in that FPHL. They should take that branding.
There you go. Number one, I think Madison and I agree we're going to go with San Jose. They are just beach colors, aren't they?
I'm a beach girly. Like, I saw those and I was like, my Southern California heart was very upset because I hate Northern California, as I'm supposed to. And its colors are so sick, man. Like, I want to see, like, I don't know, something beach related, surf related out of that. Like, I think the colors just look like a day at the beach. I think
that's the name. I think the name is the San Jose Surf.
I think so too, and I think that would be. I hope they do it because I think that'd be so sick. I just think the colors are really great. Also, kind of primed to like orange and blue. I'm a Broncos fan, so.
I don't know what that means, but I believe it.
For me, if San Jose can get a third accent color of either like a light blue, almost teal, to just kind of like accent like the names and the numbers, or if they can even do it in like a hot pink to really like drive that like sunset vibe home, I think that could shoot to number one for me. As it stands, it's just the blue and orange. It has to follow second because at heart, I am an emo kid. So if you give me black and silver with a little bit of red trim, oh baby, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for that.
It looks like the third color is like a bluish gray. Just looking at the logo, I think it's gonna be fascinating.
They have the press release where it says it's orange and like the blue with white.
Consider waves crashing. They got white on them. I think if they use the white well on those jerseys, like especially like the second season jerseys where they have like consider little seagulls.
Well, and
think about this.
And that's the other thing too. Is once we get like a logo and like branding for them, that could also change and help accent a lot. Because you look at, especially from year 1 to 2, when other teams started getting their accent colors, like when Boston got their teal, when Toronto got their yellow, it really helped identify each team aside from just their 2 colors. And with these ones having 2 or 3 right now is good, but they really need that logo and that branding to really help them stand out. But if we're just doing based off of what we know right now, I have to go Detroit number 1 because I'm a sucker. What can I say? Half my 3/4 of my wardrobe is black.
Rookie numbers.
I'm wearing a navy blue shirt, and this is one of 2 non-black shirts I own.
I'm not wearing black right now, but my hair's black.
I was going to say, that's ironic that you're calling me out. No one else can see this, but you're wearing hot pink right now. So.
It has little penguins on it. My favorite animal, because they're wearing tuxedos all the time.
They are dapper lads. You won't hear me say otherwise.
They're all fancy guys.
Well, folks, I think on that we are going to end. So this has been the Neutral Zone Hotel, which is written, produced, and hosted by us, the Neutral Zone Hotel crew. You can find out more at our website, neutralzonehotel.com. You can join our Discord, neutralzonehotel.com/Discord. We are on Bluesky at neutralzonehotel.bsky/.social. We are on YouTube at /Neutral Zone Hotel. If you're having a great time, please thumbs up, 5 stars on your podcast platform, YouTube, whatever you're watching this on. Show that you're having a good time. Tell a friend. Join the Discord. Hang out with us. Repost things. But folks, we will see you next week. Take care.